Hey,
Hi, Barry.
oh, hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
And I can hear you. Okay. It is playing the old. So hold on a minute.
I'm just going to share this just so we're locked and loaded. I'm just going to grab a water bottle. How's my mic and volume level? Everything's good?
Sounds good to me through the headphones. Can you hear? You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
So two things. Number one, we're on a wired connection,
All right.
Ethernet, which, could help. Number two, I spent the last hour or so, instead of like hitting up my pals who haven't been super responsive, I went through the blast I sent a while back and I sent emails to the, I don't know, 35, 40 people who clicked more than once.
Um,
So
the the video on the page is the old one from this morning.
yeah, it's working on it.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, that's great. Hopefully we have a full room here.
So we may get some weird things. There was all kinds of different, I mean, there was someone I know from Logitech who I haven't spoken to in a while. But all right, let me kill my video. But we can still talk for the moment. Even though we're getting the double, whatever.
And you're able to, on your end, see the first slide, right?
Seeing the first slide from market noise to decision ready intelligence on the webinar
Excellent.
and on Zoom. Not in YouTube Studio for some reason, though, which is, I guess, a little weird.
Okay, I see that we're live on the page. Okay, I'm just going to mute myself for the moment. I know we're live on the page.
Okay. Dipping.
Yes.
Do we have any way to communicate? I mean, if we're using chat in Zoom, is that going to show up on the live stream, I guess? I don't know.
No.
It won't? I mean, it would be nice if we had a way to communicate. I know you're going to be all hands on deck doing your thing, but
No, we'll have to sort that for next time.
it doesn't show up.
Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in a couple minutes here. Hi, everyone. I'm going to get started here. My name is Dippin. I am the CEO and founder of CE Critic. Just to give you a little background on myself, I have 16 years of experience inside the consumer electronics industry. I've been with companies like KEF and Rune and Amazon, and I'm really excited to show you what we've built here with the CE Critic Intelligence Engine. Before we get started here, I just wanted to thank TechFluence for hosting this. We're one of their first partners for hosting these live events. And just in case there's any issues, Barry Myers is also on the call and he's watching for any technical difficulties. Just some quick housekeeping before we get started here. We will have a live Q&A after this in the virtual breakout room. And in the breakout room, you'll also be able to download several of the complimentary reports that we have available. So once this presentation is over, we'll be able to move our conversation to the breakout room. Really excited to jump into this. This engine represents 3 years of development, testing, and refinement. It is a purpose-built system for understanding how consumers form opinions and make buying decisions. You're going to hear me say buying decisions a lot throughout this presentations because we think that's very important when it comes to understanding the customer and the market segment. So our system here allows for different sources to be combined together. We can take professional reviews, Reddit discussions, retail reviews, and YouTube audiences, and put those all through our system. We normalize the conversation, and then we're able to organize it into actionable intelligence for you and your company and the brand. Part of this is we're able to create different segments for each of the categories we're looking at, and we're also able to compare categories. Then it will go through our weighted signal process and our proprietary database, and we're able to give you proper recommendations on what to do as a brand for a product. Currently, when we look at the market, most of the tracking systems are focused at either the bottom of the funnel. This is the retail point of sale, web traffic and conversion, affiliate links, and where a customer is buying. Or they go right to the top of the funnel. You're looking at how many social media mentions you have, what share of the market you might have, as well as how people are discussing your brand or product. Where CE Critic fits and the intelligence engine is right in that middle market. This is one of our biggest distinctions. We're looking to see what the decision is before someone chooses to buy from, let's say, a manufacturer directly, Amazon, Best Buy, or whatever retailer they have of their choice. So we're following these conversations. We're really understanding what customers are saying and how they're talking about your products and brands across a variety of industries, and we're able to put that into a metric here that allows you to have decisions and actions for your company. So traditional product reviews remains very important. They provide testing, expertise, and informed judgment. But individual reviews cannot capture the full market. The consumer electronics market generates an enormous amount of data, but very little of it arrives to teams that they can act on. When we're talking about reviewers or creators or all these comments across the internet, they come in fragmented, they can be inconsistent, and they're very difficult to evaluate. One of the things that I'm very excited about that our engine does very well is following things like negative complaints. What we're able to do is if we see a one-star review on Amazon and then someone complaining on Reddit or a forum, we can take a look at that and say, is that one person complaining 3 times or 3 different complaints? This allows you to understand what's actually happening in the market and what momentum you're gaining. We can also see what's happening throughout the year. How is the conversation changing? What perceptions are changing as new products are introduced or new pricing options are available? And as customers get their products in hand, we can see how well they're reacting to it and whether it's influencing more people to buy or if it's stalling some folks from converting. Now, let me just give you a little bit of background on CE Critic and how we came to this engine. CE Critic began with solving a problem that consumer electronic reviews are difficult to compare. Publications use different scoring systems, different testing priorities, and editorial approaches. We created a framework to normalize and evaluate those reviews. The next step was for us to incorporate consumer ownership experience, the community discussion, creator influence, and active purchase research. This changed CE Critic from just being a review platform into an intelligent system. The system and the engine looks way beyond whether a product reviewed well. It evaluates why the market is responding, which segments are driving the response, and what competitors are doing differently, and what actions a brand should consider to get the edge. One thing I'm really proud of, and this is one area that we excel in, is that we help the business, not just one group within the business. We can help product, marketing, sales, and the leadership team act on what's happening for their products and for the brands. So just to give you an example of how this engine kind of works, is the engine may show that a product is not losing because of its performance, but it might be losing because some consumers believe competitors are easier to use. So this insight can lead to several actions. The product teams can look to simplify the setup. Marketing teams can shift from technical specification to ease of ownership. Sales can give better retail demonstrations and stronger demonstrations. And the PR folks can focus on reviews whose audience care about usability. All of this allows the leadership team to put their resources where it matters for the customers and where it matters for the customers that matter to them. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about how the engine works and how we are focused on collecting this information and normalizing it. So as I mentioned, we're collecting it from a variety of sources. Consumer reviews, feedback, Amazon reviews, customer websites. Basically, I joke at this point that we read the internet. We're looking to see what customers are saying. Then we normalize the language with our proprietary system. Then, and this is really important, we start to segment it and to understand who and why is behind these opinions, why specific personas are made, and why are they buying. Then it goes through our weighted and prioritization system and algorithm, and it determines what has true impact and significance inside of the market. And then we're able to take all of this information and translate it into something actionable for you. So what are we doing here? Exactly. So as we pull those reviews in and community forums in and the comments on YouTube channels, we're looking for different systems and different language models that say, should I buy product X or Y? I'm deciding between these two products. Is it worth upgrading? I'm thinking about upgrading. I ordered this or I canceled something or I'm returning all of that. All that data is put through our CE Critic system, and then we're leveraging a sample of 100,000 unique qualified records across all these platforms to identify and quantify consumers' buying intent. Now, I'm going to say that one more time because it's very important, right? We're focused very much on buying intent and not just whether someone felt good about a product or a product launch. We're sampling 100,000 unique qualified records across all these platforms and quantifying it to understand buying intent. And this is really important. This is what helps us demonstrate our personas and helps us to show what we can do. This is just an example of what we're able to do inside of our engine and what we're able to present to you. We can divide the customers up by performance buyers, right? These are the early adopters looking for absolutely the best in technology, or the value first mainstream buyers, right? This is usually the largest segment. They're focused on a balance between a balance of features, reliability, and price. Then the enthusiast or the prosumer, they have the most knowledge and need specialized feature and often push products to their limits. And then the ecosystem buyer, they're just loyal to a brand or operating system. Think Apple or Google. Their primary concern is this new device going to fit into their current environment? What we're able to do is see how each one of these different personas are reacting to your different products or brands. Then we're also able to see how they influence each other. Is a performance buyer influencing a value first mainstream buyer? Is an ecosystem buyer able to influence a prosumer buy? All this data is available to us so that we can provide it to you so you can look to see which market segments do you have the most opportunity in and which ones are buying your products the most. Now, what we're able to do is identify what's happening with the products and with the brand inside the market. And this is sometimes the uncomfortable part. It's not just why they're buying, but also why not. What we're seeing in our research is sometimes the strongest competition isn't another brand or product, but it's the perception in the market. So we're able to take that perception, we're able to see what customers are saying and what the different personas are saying, so that you as the brand can really focus in on resolving any sort of negativity in the market or doubling down on where customers are buying that you did not think were buying your product before. Now I'd like to take you through how we generate these reports. Now, just a reminder, we're going to take you through a report in the live Q&A section in the breakout room, where you'll also be able to download some of these reports. But this is our process for generating the reports for you. We do everything I've been mentioning. We take a look at the consensus from professional reviewers, from consumers. We create the personas. We look at all the buying intent, and then we see what's happening in the market with other products or brands as it relates to your product. And then from there, we create the marketing narrative, understand the story of what's happening, what's resonating, what is, what's not. We look at all the risk and opportunities. We proactively identify potential issues or untapped market segments. We help with the product prioritization, right? We can look at all the data to see what features customers really want and what issues matter most to buyers who are in your market. Then we look at messaging and positioning, how you can craft your message, how you can align with the different personas in the market. And then we're able to give you recommendations. This is where I'm really proud because a lot of data sets will have a lot of information, but they can't actually give specific recommendations on what you as a brand can do to improve. And not only can we give you what we recommend to improve or what guidance we can also track it to see how it's impacting the market and the buying decision. Now, I just wanted to give you an idea of what areas we break down our reports into. We have 130 different report configurations that can be customized to meet all your business needs. But we can look at anything from category intelligence to launch readiness to consumer and persona reports, any PR or creative intelligence reports. We're also able to do crisis reports. One of the most important things that we can do is we see ourselves as a partner with you throughout the year. We see that we can monitor things month over month, quarter over quarter to see how things are changing and how different marketing activities and sales activities are impacting your customers as well as your product and position in the market. So just to give you some real life examples, right, of how we turn our intelligence into actions. Let's say a buyer's question is repeatedly coming up around complexity of setup. We can give this information to you so you can improve your onboarding, support content, packaging instructions, whatever you might need. Another way is if a competitor is winning on some value perception. You can reframe the total cost of ownership, strengthen product bundles. If you're looking at professional reviews, we can see whether a reviewer is going to like your product or if they're not going to like your product, and where you might want to investigate your messaging. And we can also look to see if there's specific features that are driving the most amount of sales, so you can focus on those in your advertising. That really helps you focus in on where your dollars are being spent. And then we can also look to see a niche creator who can drive more audience reaction to your product. We'll talk a little bit about this later, but we have a creator selector as well. You'll be able to download a sample report I made on the new Kef Lux on how you can partner with different YouTube influencers to gain market share. All this is possible through our system. We're able to provide this for you to make the best decisions possible. Now, just to give you guys some real ways this is being used today, Caleb Dennison has his YouTube channel, Caleb Rated. For those of you who don't know, Caleb is a partner at CE Critic. We brought him in last year, and we've done quite a lot with Caleb as well as with this engine. He is using this engine for every single review. And what he's doing is he's actually able to understand what the customers want to know and what the users want to know. So whether he's reviewing TVs or headphones or speakers, he comes to the engine and he says, hey, what are the top 5 questions a consumer wants to know about this particular product? And he makes sure to test it and answer it in his reviews. He's also able to see what other reviewers are saying, and in case he wants to double check any of the specs or any of the findings of another reviewer. And he's able to really hone in on his messaging and his review so that his audience is engaged. He also has a very difficult time because he's always trying to balance his review between hardcore enthusiasts and casual reviewers. And the intelligence system allows him to create a review that works for the entire audience that he's trying to capture. And with this, he's able to drive results and views much more quickly, as well as get better engagement in the chats when he's looking to engage with his audience. So as I summarize here, I really want to make sure you guys know we work with the entire business. The entire intelligence system can work with all these different departments. We make sure that you're not wasting months on cross-functional research, and we can turn weeks or months of work into days. We're also able to provide a scalable system for your organization. We'll be able to compress that cross-functional research into days, and we'll deliver highly targeted intelligence with the precision you need to support all these departments, the product team, the marketing team, the sales team, the PR team, and make sure the executive team is pointing resources where they want it. So we're a full partner for you and a full suite across the board. We're able to take all these signals and present it to you in a way that you're able to execute on them immediately and see the results as short as a month away instead of quarters away or years away sometime. Thank you all for joining us for this part of the presentation. If you guys want to get in touch with me directly, my email address is dippin.s@cecritic.com. You can also email barry@techfluence.us. We have quite a lot to show you. I'm really looking forward to speaking with everyone in the virtual breakout room. You'll find that button on the top right of the screen as soon as we leave this presentation. I really appreciate you joining us today, and I'm looking forward to showing you a real life report that we're able to generate. Thank you.